Alright, we're back. We sped this up to 1,000 speed. See if we can get this down to an 18-minute video or somewhere around there. Yeah, so here we can see the KS tune block off port on the left for the left balance shaft and the block off plate for the right balance shaft. That right balance shaft obviously same gearing is in there for the water pump. And so no more balance shafts. Yay. So yeah, it looks like the pistons are in, the rings are in, new wrist pins, and all the other little details there. I'm gonna guess from painting we had the threads all taped up like so, and we did. You can see on the table that ARP, I think it is an ARP piston installer, works great compared to the other cheap thing I tried, which didn't work at all. So what are we doing? Oh yes, time to put cams in, and then obviously caps and other items, but we would have cleaned all these holes out with Q-tips too and check over everything, make sure it's perfectly fine. Okay, fire the producer. Should have cropped all this out. Video tech. Just starting the caps. Looks like we're still doing the caps. So I mean we're lubing them a little bit. It's not going to matter by the time we start this engine. There's not going to be any oil up there. But we do put a little bit of oil in there just to make sure everything's nice and smooth when it goes together. And make sure to put your caps in the right order, in the right way. See the power steering pump bracket is on the left there as well. And obviously you would torque all these to spec. Alright, next video. So it looks like we did get the belt on. I could explain that, but there's a million people on YouTube that can. And so I'm gonna guess we're gonna torque down the caps on the top. I don't know what you call those things. Um, I could look it up. Not gonna bother. Alright, next video. What are we looking at? Well, we're doing research. Alright, next video is coming up anyway. Could have cropped this out. We'll just leave it. Should note that hopefully there's a video of all this starting up. So this rebuilding of the engine is to try and get to 500 horsepower. And we had 400, 420 for a while. But this is us trying to get to 500. And hopefully we'll have some great videos of starting up, running, the other good stuff. Alright, on to the next video. Everything still looks the same. Yeah, we're going to set the timing with the Allen key trick. Get the cams in the right spot, and then torque them down. Important to use the right torque spec. Probably mentioned that already. Ooh, let's see if we can fast forward this a bit. This is, let's watch me just torque bolts here. Hooray, crop that out. Let's get back. Good shot. Should do more beautiful shots like this. Looks like we're attaching the ESP traction bar front engine mount to the block. Those who noticed very particularly, you'll see that part of those block is shaved off, but the two bolts still grab threads. It's all good. Doubt you'll ever be able to fix that. Perfectly fine. And looks like we were going to attempt to put the ESP bracket on there, but we jumped over to the flywheel. Okay, so this is going to be putting the flywheel on. It's a ASCO 12-pound flywheel, I believe. And we didn't go with the light flywheel. We like heavy flywheels for the twin disc because it's already a pain to try and use. It helps to have a little weight there for the times you need to ride the clutch. So yeah, we're going to clean out the holes here with some Q-tips and some any kind of cleaning agent in there. Properly support the block and go ahead and put the flywheel on. You can also see here the oil pressure sensor that I use in the A-pillar gauge or A-pillar pod. The gauge in the A-pillar pod on the back of the block here, hanging off the T for the turbo feed line. Obviously the oil filter above it and oil cooler lines. So yeah, there's the ASCO 12-pound. I love it. No issues with it. Should have made some marks on it. Took it to a machine shop to copy the marks over from the OEM flywheel. I forgot to do that. So when it came setting TDC for the tuner, I couldn't find a mark, and that kind of became an issue. But we'll have to address that next time the engine's out and we're inspecting some things. Obviously, you got to torque these to a proper spec. Personally, I couldn't find a socket that would fit between the bolts here to properly torque them. I ended up taking one of them that I had. I did try a few and just shaving the metal off the end of it. You can see there, and it still barely fits, but it does fit enough to torque these down. Obviously, I did use some dab of red Loctite, I believe. You don't want these bolts coming out. Other thing to note too is that because it's a different flywheel than OEM, when you go to tighten the crank bolt on the other side and the engine's in the car, the instructions usually want you to put a screwdriver in the transmission peephole, and then you can use the screwdriver to hold the engine while you torque that crank bolt. Because I think it was, what, 110, something like that for foot-pounds. But because of the different flywheel, it's hard to even see the flywheel. It's further out than you think, and thus that idea doesn't work too well. So you're gonna have to use the screwdriver and the rotor trick, or screwdriver and the rotor, or other ideas. Can't remember what exactly I did. I think I use a really giant nail in the rotor, and it hits the caliper and stops the engine from moving. One other mistake I made long ago was putting too much grease on the bearing, clutch release bearing, which ends up really kind of spewing and splattering all over the flywheel because that's where things are. And it's something else to watch for. Too much lubrication is a bad thing. I wish there was a video of this installation, but it's pretty easy. You just need an alignment tool for the twin disc. I could show other videos of this, taking it apart, maybe another day. Looks like this last video is just a still shot of the twin disc. It's a Twilton twin disc, 7.25 I believe. on the ASCO flywheel, and basically it's instant traction and feels like you're pushing a dead horse across the floor. Anyway, thank everyone for viewing. Stay tuned for the next one.